Hey guys, we're going to start to settle, so I'm going to start the live stream playlist on the music or the Earbuds music app. If you're going along with us on Spotify, you can go ahead and start your playlist now. And if you're practicing without music, that's always an option, which I love. And that if you choose to practice without music and you just want to be with your breath and you want to be with the stillness and the silence, and that is completely available to you. And I'm going to start taking a seat, but you are welcome to lie down onto your back, please. And welcome to your Detox experience, which is our version of yin yoga. Much more restorative, but it doesn't mean, those of you that have done it before, it does not mean that it's an easy practice, but it is a very spacious practice, or a practice in where we can feel tangible space in our bodies. It doesn't move fast at all. It gives you plenty of opportunity to face any fears or things that you might be holding on to and with your mind, and to detach that from your body and through the memory of your body, in the way that your body can hold on to certain beliefs in certain ways. And we know that we're all going through a pretty big shift, and not only in our existence, but in the world's existence right now. So there is plenty to break down, and I encourage you to let the practice break it down for you. And to reiterate in regards to the breath during this practice, it is a natural breath all the way through. And so unless I guide you to take a deeper breath or to exhale and to release a sigh, just let your breath be completely natural. And you don't have to force it, you don't have to change it, you don't have to seal your lips, you don't have to compress the muscles. And your throat is a natural breath. And let it flow wherever it's going to flow, and have a beautiful practice tonight. And close the eyes down if they're not already. And hopefully you're feeling, and you set up your space and so it can really support you like a sanctuary, an oasis. And we go on this deeper dive inward, and in some ways without focus, without concentration for the next hour. I'm going to hear a lot of things tonight that will contradict a lot of the instruction that you've gotten in yoga before. And that's the point. And because just like what we're going through right now, we can learn a lot, and through the contradiction. And we're certainly going to feel the extreme, going from one end of the spectrum to the other, in hopes that we can bring ourselves closer to the center. And lying on your back, go ahead and give your head a little rock from side to side. And go really slow. Notice if you're holding on to a lot of tension in your neck and the muscles and down the sides of your neck. And it may take you a few classes, and so fortunately we'll be offering these every evening, but it may take you a few classes and to really appreciate the practice of stillness. And let your head come back to center. You don't be surprised if your mind does not want to be still. It doesn't need to be. Over time and repetition, and you can really curate in the art of appreciating and the stillness as part of your experience, as part of your yoga. And let's take both arms over your head, please. And so it's like a half body stretch. And then bend your legs and so that your feet are flat. And turn yourself onto your right hand side. You can rest your head into your bicep. And releasing your muscles. Feel your belly release from your spine, from your ribs, and from your hips. And we want to feel some of that separation instead of pulling and drawing everything in. And from your innermost feelings, you want to allow the space and to separate. And so you're creating space within the space and within the space of your body. And I'll remind you along the way, it's as simple as saying natural breathing. From your right hand side, please go ahead and use your left hand. And then you can make your way all the way around to all fours. And then into a comfortable seated position. You can sit, and like me, which is cross-legged, and I have a block under my bum, you're also welcome to sit on your shins. Here, put a pillow or a blanket in between your feet. And sitting on your shins, or you can roll or tuck that pillow underneath your bum and sit cross-legged. You just go ahead and find your position. You're going to be here for a little while. And so, of course, you'll feel the body when you sit. But you don't want to start in a place in where it's kind of edging towards so much discomfort that your mind can't really settle or appreciate the stillness, the posture. With your gaze softening straight out in front, and you're going to take your left hand and then give yourself a hug. And so your left hand goes over top of your right shoulder. And your fingertips and curled over in the trap muscle running from your neck to your shoulder. And your right hand is supporting you like a kickstand on your right knee. And then from here, you can let that left elbow be heavy. And then start to lean your head into the opposite shoulder. Connecting the hand, but we're not holding on in strength. In your first 3 breaths, it's all about finding yourself and relative into the position. You're seeking that target sensation in the side of your neck. And release the jaw, and then you can begin to settle, close the eyes down. And there can be a lot of sensations going on. It doesn't just have to be one. But resist the urge if something wants to pull you away. And without the containment of the studio, one of the greatest challenges could be to stay on your mat for the next hour. It'll be easier to drift. But please hold yourselves accountable. And your body and your mind will not regret it. Coming through the hour and then eventually coming out on the other side. say we're going to be in positions for a while, I don't necessarily give you an exact measurement of time on purpose. I'm encouraging you to let go of time, and so that a minute feels like 5, 5 feels like 10. We can rewire in our brain and by connecting deeper into our bodies. So like I've been saying, it's a practice of relative stillness. It just means you're not voluntarily moving. You're consciously falling into a space and then existing in that space, and no matter what comes up, and give yourself complete permission and to be with the emotion, and to be with the mind, and to be with everyone, everywhere, and every feeling and every thought. In every moment. And you're welcome to keep your eyes closed in the transition, nice and easy. Start to bring your head back on top. These are really slow movements. And feel the spine stack. Lightness and through the achiness, and then you can release your right hand back down onto your knee, your thigh. And feel the space that you've created. It's that easy. And sometimes you might even surprise yourself in truly investigating in what is going on. And when you take this inward approach, and like I said, it's the practice that our bodies and our minds need that they didn't know that they needed. So you really can't understand it until you're here. And just keep your left hand where it is, and then cross your right arm over your chest and take your fingertips onto your left shoulder. And use your left arm as a kickstand and to support yourself upright. And then you can go ahead and lean the head away from the hand on the shoulder. And so you're finding that place in the target sensation in the side of your neck. Not to a point where you're overwhelmed and your mind goes, man, how am I going to hold this? Or how am I going to be in this stillness? And to a place in where you feel it, but you allow for the progression. You allow for the adventure, with your mind moving through the experience, your natural breath flowing through your body. Notice the sensations, let your mind wander. And feel the filter and stillness and drowning out all the external noise. And so at least if you're hearing noise, it's inside of yourself and versus something else that's around you. Keep your hand on your shoulder, and you're welcome to keep your eyes closed. And then nice and easy, start to bring your head and bring it right back up on top. And feel the lightness in the stack of your spine. And then you can release your right hand, bring it back onto your knee or onto your thigh. As you draw closer into your center and feel the space. Observe the space. How you're feeling now and how your thoughts and energy can shift in a relatively short amount of time. Sure, you might be getting some tingles in your toes and some aches in your knees or your hips sitting this long. Let your eyes gently come back into the room. And then you can start to make your way out of your seat, uncrossing your legs or rocking to a hip. And you're removing any props that were supporting you and coming into a tabletop. And so you're on all fours facing whichever direction you define as the top of your mat. You notice how slowly we move through the transitions. And so we're not looking to jerk our bodies or, to have a muscle and kind of react abruptly. So we're moving really slow anytime we're coming out of these positions. From your tabletop, come down onto your forearms, please. And then from your forearms, start to extend your legs straight back behind you. You release the crease of your hips down into the ground. And then from here, you're going to take your left arm out to the side like a T shape. If you're short on space, you can cactus the arm. And then bring your right hand in beside your right ribs. And we're going to roll into the left hip. And step your right foot behind your left leg. And so your right knee is turning up. And then you're feeling the stretch in the left side of your chest. You have the option to slide something underneath your head, and if it doesn't come down, to rest on the ground. And if you take that left arm a little bit lower, that'll be a bit more friendly in the sensation. If you keep it up pretty high, you're going to feel that and probably a bit more. So if you're not feeling it, take the arm a little higher. If you're feeling it too much, and slide the arm down a little bit lower. And your right foot there is to support your balance, and then you can start and to release the heaviness through the left side of your body. And relax your jaw, close your eyes. And please understand there is a deeper meaning as you travel through these sensations. When you get underneath the thought of the sensation, and you start to discover the body within the body. And remember this, if you're not holding on to it, whatever it is not holding on to you. On the contrary, if you're holding on to the story and that's all you believe in is that story, and then there's the tape that's going to continue to play over and over and over and over again. And being in some of these shapes might break that tape, break the cycle. All you got to do from here is start to roll yourself. You bring your right leg back around. And then eventually coming all the way back onto your belly. For a little counter pose, and remove any props that you had under your head. And let your belly lie flat. Bring your arms down by your sides. And turn your right cheek down onto the ground, please. And let it go. It can feel really nice and to rest in the side of your face. And to feel the tension that you may have been holding on to in your jaw. And take a deeper breath and feel that breath expand through your lower back. As we start to set up the other side, take your right arm out into that T shape. And use your left hand beside your ribs. And then start to roll yourself onto your right hip. And step your left foot behind your right leg. And so you're getting into that stretch on the right side of your chest. You can always pull that prop back in underneath your head. And use your left foot and your left hand to support. And if you're getting a lot of sensation right away, just slide the arm down a little bit. And if you're not getting a lot of sensation, you can keep the arm up or take it higher. Honestly, if we're doing it right, then your body should really feel these poses. And they are the contradiction, just like the adjustments and that we're experiencing. We may not want to experience them. But remember, the adjustments are bringing us closer into balance and things like equality. Every now and again, you might get a natural sigh breath that moves through you. And I welcome you to take that sigh breath without forcing it whenever it feels good. And I hope that you're all drifting and at the same time feel the grounding element of your body as you let gravity flow through you. And to go deeper and deeper inside of yourself. Acknowledge your fears, acknowledge your worries, but none of that needs to hold you back from a peaceful existence and from a non-judgmental place as we offer ourselves into the service of our fellow being, our fellow man, our fellow woman. And please take it nice and slowly as you start to bring your left leg back around. No rush and little to no reaction from the muscles in your body as you're moving through it. As you make your way onto your belly, and take any props out and from underneath your head, and let your right arm come down by your side. And turn your left cheek down onto the mat. And feel the release, and feel the space. What this space is reminding us of is, I care about you and you care about me. And it doesn't matter what you do and it doesn't matter where you've been. And last time we checked and we all have the same or similar parts and pieces. And at least and within this time of space that is being held, if we can reduce our self-importance, and we can let ourselves and fly away from our ego temporarily and feel the gift of oneness. And start to bring your forehead back onto the mat. Slide your hands underneath you. And so you can use your hands, keep your head heavy, and start to make your way back up into all fours. You don't worry about what it looks like. It just might feel nice to keep your head heavy and to sway your hips a little bit from side to side. And rock a little bit forward and back. And move your head away from your tail. And feel the difference in your shoulders and all the way down through your arms, and for that matter, the entire body is connected, and so you can feel that. And crawl your knees in a little bit closer to your hands. And let's rock off onto our left hip. And then bring your right leg around in front. And you're going to set up with the sole of your left foot and touching your right inner thigh, so it's like a tree leg. If this is challenging and to sit based on the tightness in your hips, put something underneath your bum. And so you would elevate in your bum to take some of that tension out of your hips. Okay, once you're okay and you can get your pelvis to tilt forward, and then you can place one hand on each side of your right leg. It might feel good to take your torso out a little bit and further to the right. And to the left, you're looking for a sensation in the back of your right leg and your hamstring. And so navigate in the first few breath cycles and find the sensation, relax your toes, and then start to let your head get heavy here. I think people are normally surprised at and how much feeling they receive when they come into a forward fold, and how much tension you may be storing in that back side of your spine, and that is now opening up in the front side of your spine that is compressing. And so you have permission and to soften your belly as much as you possibly can. And relax the muscles on your face. And we'll be here for a while. As you feel your natural breath soften you, and it's okay if you continue to fold deeper and deeper. It's a good sign that your body is releasing and surrendering into the pose and to gravity. Relax your jaw completely. And if you can fold in without forcing it, by surrendering, go ahead about 1 more minute in this shape. Into the nothingness and complete non-attachment, and from not only the physical world around you, but everything that's been tied up as a story. There's a cliff note of your experience and the anecdotes of your life up to this point. You can use your hands and begin to walk them back as you roll up through your spine, one vertebra at a time. You certainly pay attention to all of those sensations. You notice how slow we're moving. And you don't even have to open up your eyes. Let's take that left leg and stretch it out in front of you. You need to feel the release, and let's go ahead and lie down onto your back, please. It's your mat. And the ground beneath your body continue to support. Such an incredible process, and that most of the time the mind says, I don't have time for that. Well, what is time? It might look a little bit different now than it did before. And you're welcome to take a nice deep breath here. And soft sigh to exhale, release all the air from your lungs. And separate your feet a little bit wider, at least to the edges of your mat. And then take your right ankle and cross it all the way over your left ankle without moving your left leg. And once your ankles hook, you feel that adjustment in through your hips and your low back. And then gently take your arms over your head. And take your left hand onto your right wrist. And you can just kind of shift your shoulders and your head to the left a little bit. And be gentle, but let everything and then get heavy into the ground. And we're creating a longer line, and from your right armpit all the way down to your right ankle. And hopefully your practice is providing a foundation. And once you get inside and to realize this isn't the rug being pulled out underneath us. You use your awareness and develop the simple means and to exist and to feel and to process and to know that you have powerful flows sitting inside of you. You have all the resources and that you need, and to break these things down and to build them back up and to become one with all the energies in the world. Because you are all the energies in the world. And start to merge back with our center. You can bring your head and your shoulders back. And so they're square, and from there you can then uncross your right ankle. And release your wrist, let your arms come down by your sides. And let your body be heavy here. And at the same time, feel the lightness of your natural breath. Go ahead and bend your legs so that your feet are flat. And use your right hand and then make your way back up. And so you're in the seated position and facing the same direction as before. And then we'll set up with your left leg straight. And the sole of your right foot on your left inner thigh like a tree leg. And the setup, if the hips are really tight, is get something underneath your bum, and so that you elevate your pelvis. And then your pelvis can turn forward. One hand on each side of your left leg. And relax all 10 of your toes and then start to crawl your fingers forward. And relax through your belly as you start to allow your head to get heavy, and so you're just spilling yourself into the forward fold. And with every natural breath comes an opportunity for a deeper release. More compression means more space eventually when we come out of it, but for now we're going to be here for a little while. And let it happen. Feel into your jaw, any tension, relax it. Your eyes, your nose, your forehead. With each exhale, let yourself soften through your belly and forehead to your knee. He moves a little bit closer, about 1 more minute here. Feel every sensation through your spine. Start to crawl your hands in and slowly roll yourself up one vertebra at a time. As your head eventually comes up, go ahead and bring your right leg out in front of you. Feel the release. Make your way down onto your back. And use your elbows. And come down onto your shoulders. And let the beauty of this ground and support and so that you can feel the release in the neutral spine. And drop into your stillness. If you didn't know that it was possible to slow down this much, well, now you know. As humans, we have a hard time understanding things until they're directly affecting our body and our mind. So now you know. And separate the heels, and so they're at least on the edges of your mat. And take your left ankle, cross it all the way over your right ankle. And so you get a little ankle lock. There's little adjustments in your low back and your sacrum, and then take your arms over your head. And right hand holds on to your left wrist, and move your shoulders and your head any amount to the right. And then let everything settle back down into the ground. You're not pulling and forcing or strengthening any part of this expression. Let the weight of the body. You gotta wonder in an experience like this, why are we so consumed with what we can see and with our eyes, and versus this curiosity and to explore what we can see and through sensation and through feeling, introspection and awareness. And maybe this is the shift and exactly what we need, and to understand what it feels like and to take care of ourselves more. And to take care of each other more. please take it really easy as you start to bring your head and your shoulders back to square. And then uncross your left ankle. And release your wrist. Let your arms come down by your sides. And you can make any adjustments and to be most comfortable here. And settling into the weight of your bum and the weight of your shoulders with your arms by your sides and your palms facing up. I hope as you lie here tonight, you can feel the honest truth and the contradiction. And you can at least develop a little bit more space and for those adjustments and to be a part of your experience physically and mentally. And that you can realize and perhaps the boundaries and the limitations and that you thought they existed, maybe they don't. Walking you through these detox experiences every evening, it's going to be a process, everybody. It'll be dynamic, it will shift with the times, it will flow with the energy. It'll be far less obstructed by our minds and what we think we know, and to really get in touch with everything that we've yet to discover. Feel really good and to stay where you are. I will keep the stream going for a while and so that you can rest in your Shavasana. And allow yourself and to be with this space not only for the next few moments but for the rest of the evening. Into your sleep, deep sleep. To the arrival of your morning, and when the sun blankets the sky in the ground, and then everybody that steps underneath it with its beautiful light. And it's an honor to share the experience with you. And have a beautiful night, everybody. And see you tomorrow. Namaste.